starts right now.
I'm ABC's Justin Finch in Washington. And as lawyers for former President Trump and the Justice Department prepare for a high-stakes hearing tied to the Mar-a-Lago investigation, Americans are weighing in a new poll. The results and the latest in our report.
And did you get any rain yesterday? Well, I saw a brief shower. Hopefully we'll have some chances again today.
And good morning to you. It is Thursday, September 1st.
That's right. The beginning of September. August wasn't that bad. And, we start with those rain chances again.
Yeah, so I have no idea what's going to happen weather-wise this month. Justin's in for Mike this morning, and I assume we're going to take it a day and a week at a time at this point.
We are, but now that you say that, coming up, we're going to look at the climatology of September so we can get a general idea of what's ahead of us, and it's good news. Cooler month, as we know. We're headed into fall, and yes, we do have some more rain chances on the way. Not so much today. I think today's going to be isolated stuff, kind of like yesterday, but as we head into the weekend, our rain chances, they go up, and it's looking pretty promising. Right now, the live radar is not giving us much. We've got a few showers out in the whole country. That's it. Your morning commute is going to be a dry one. We're not looking for a whole lot to show up on radar. Temperatures 76 right now, pretty comfortable out there. 72 Kerrville, 74 in Uvalde, 76 down in Pleasanton, mid 70s here around San Antonio right now. Your KSAT 12-hour forecast, 7 a.m. 74, 10% chance of rain. That's it. And really, we keep that very, very small chance through noontime and just bump it up slightly this afternoon to a 20% chance. It'll be isolated, and most of us are going to stay dry today. Temperatures will be warm, though. I'll caution you there. 94 feels a lot warmer than that with all the humidity that is still in place. We don't do much with that humidity as far as rain is concerned until the weekend. As I said, that's when rain chances do begin to really jump up. We're going to time that out for you. We're going to look at some of the Thursday night high school football games, give you a forecast for that, and yes, climatology of September. All of that coming up here in just a few minutes, guys.
Thank you, Justin. This morning, an area teacher facing child pornography charges. Mark Mallow is now on administrative leave with the Judson Independent School District. In an affidavit, investigators say Mallow was a band teacher at Woodlake Hills Middle School. The district says families were notified of the arrest and the investigation remains open.
Later today, a high-stakes hearing is set for former President Donald Trump's request for an outside review of FBI seized classified records.
ABC's Justin Finch is in Washington with more.
In dueling court filings, a likely preview of today's crucial special master hearing. In its late Wednesday filing, former President Trump's legal team argues that if left unchecked, the Department of Justice will impugn, leak, and publicize select aspects of their investigation with no recourse for Trump, but made no mention of Trump's claims that he declassified those records. Hours earlier, the DOJ's response called that special master request unnecessary, arguing in its 36-page court filing that they've already carefully reviewed those documents.
Certainly they're potential charges. We just don't know if they're going to file them. The fundamental question is going to be, was the primary goal to get these documents back into a secure location, or was it to get these documents back into a secure location and potentially build a case here?
In all, the DOJ has recovered some 322 classified documents. 184 were handed over to the National Archives in January. Then in June, Trump turned in another 38. Trump's attorneys had provided a signed affidavit saying that all the material in question had been turned over. But when the FBI searched Mar-a-Lago in early August, they found over 100 classified records, including information classified at the highest level. DOJ also including a photo of some labeled in red with secret, top secret, and SCI, sensitive compartmented information. The Justice Department has argued a special master review could disrupt ongoing investigations into potential national security risks stemming from the alleged mishandling of those classified records. Justin Finch, ABC News, Washington.
This new wildfires in Southern California. Flames have consumed more than 4,000 acres about 40 miles north of Los Angeles. Fire officials have ordered mandatory evacuations and shut down portions of I-5. With temperatures over 100 degrees in many cities, the manager of California's power grid has issued a statewide flex alert for today. The alert even asks for electric car owners not to charge their vehicles during peak hours.
NASA is awarding SpaceX a $1.4 billion contract for 5 more Crew Dragon spacecraft launches. The announcement extends a long collaboration for SpaceX and NASA. The deal is the agreement between Elon Musk's company and NASA until 2030, bringing the total contract value to nearly $5 billion. With the contract extension, there's increased confidence that the International Space Station will stay in operation to 2030.
U.S. Postal Service celebrating the man behind the beloved Peanuts comic strip with 10 new Forever stamps debuting in the 50s. The comic became history's most popular and successful strip for 5 decades. Its cartoonist Charles M. Schulz wrote, drew, inked, and lettered every Peanuts strip, nearly 18,000 of them. The last strip published the day after he died in 2000. The Forever stamps commemorate the centennial of Schultz's birth. He would have turned 100 years old this year. You can purchase the stamps at USPS.com.
Nice looking stamps. Time now 4:35 and 76 degrees for now.
Lots of recalls this week. We'll tell you the reason a company is recalling thousands of activity desks that attach to a crib.
And the big 50th anniversary game for the San Antonio Spurs at the Alamo Dome, that's coming up. How to make sure you can get a seat because tickets are limited.
TransGuide right now. Let's see how things are looking out there for the folks to keep an eye on our roads all night long. 90 at 410. Very, very light traffic showing up in that particular part of town.
And taking a look outside with a live cam with a shower here and there. Yesterday got kind of humid. And right now we're at 76 degrees. We'll be right back.
Just about 4:40, tickets going on sale today for the Spurs' big 50th anniversary celebration game at the Alamo Dome January 13th against the Golden State Warriors. And to get you ready for the big event, former Spurs star Sean Elliott made a trip down to the Dome yesterday where he made a name for himself. His Memorial Day miracle is what legends are made of against the Portland Trail Blazers. I was there for that game. It was amazing. Loudest stadium or venue I've ever heard in my life. Game-winning 3 delivered that would never have counted had Sean not raised his heels off the floor to stay in bounds. It would help propel the Spurs to their 1998 NBA Finals where they won their first ever NBA championship. Great times. Now they're coming back for one game, but not like the old style using half of the dome. This is the Final Four style with the entire dome available.
Coming back for a Spurs game is going to be really exciting this year. It's going to be a lot of fun. I think you guys know already, 65,000 people is our goal. And, you know, before when the dome was set up, we had the curtain, we could get 30 and change in here. And that was always loud, so I can't imagine 65,000 plus. It's going to be amazing.
Okay, so here's the deal. Today, a limited amount of community tickets will be sold. 2,500 tickets at just $10 each. And you are limited to 5 at the Alamo Dome box office. So good luck. The UTSA Roadrunners have announced that seats in the upper level of the Alamo Dome for this Saturday's season opener against number 24 Houston are now on sale. They're just $10 plus online fees through this Friday. On Saturday, the price will jump to $15. Prior to kickoff, the Roadrunners' first ever Conference USA Championship banner will be unveiled. Roadrunners were asked if this is the toughest team they've faced.
They jump out on paper, you know, statistically wise. They're nationally ranked. It'll be a good defense. Everything our coaches have said is that this will be one of the best defenses we play. So we're going to go out there and compete, and we'll see.
They stack up to the teams that I've played in my short time here. As long as I feel like I'm going to ride behind my guys, as long as we stick to the brand shows up, physically tough, dominate, we'll be just fine.
Kickoff in the Dome is set Saturday for 2:30 in the afternoon. KSAT 12 Sports was season opener last Friday, which they won 21-13. Now KSAT will stream live on all our platforms the Uvalde home opener at the Honey Bowl tomorrow night. That starts at 6:30 with the pregame show. Then we'll carry the entire game, including halftime, from Uvalde. So look for that again on all our streaming platforms.
And time now 4:41 and 76 degrees for now. A lot of products are being recalled this week, including a popular ride-on toy. How a toddler could get hurt while using it.
As kids are heading back to school, temperatures still sweltering across parts of the country. We'll tell you just how many American schools still don't have air conditioning.
And welcome back. It's 4:44. Kids are heading back to schools and many school buildings. ABC's Ginger Z has the details in today's GMA First Look.
Schools have air conditioning.
Most schools that we have today are on average about 40 years old. So if you went back 40 years across most of the country, nobody would be putting air conditioning in. The only time it was hot was July. And we'd say, well, students aren't in school in July. Why are we going to spend millions of dollars to put air conditioning in? All of a sudden, where it used to be maybe 5 days a year were hot, now we're talking about 30 or 40.
And coming up at 7 a.m., how the heat can affect your child's ability to learn, who it's impacting the most, and what's being done to update those schools to keep kids cool. With your GMA First Look, I'm Ginger Z with ABC News.
4:45, from cookies to Blue's Clues toys, several products you have in your home are getting recalled.
12 on your sides, Marilyn Moritz shows us the products and the dangers in this week's recall roundup.
Have these in the pantry? Market Pantry White Fudge Animal Cookies sold at Target are recalled after a metal wire was found in some. They come in a big plastic bear container. The best buy date is February 21st. Take them back. Brewing danger. IKEA is recalling thousands of metal-esque espresso makers because the stainless steel safety valve can burst. A few folks have been scalded. Take it back. Blue's Clues recall. Huffy says it's pulling more than 28,000 of these plush puppy ride-on toys. The toy can tip forward, and 18 toddlers have injured their faces. These were sold at Walmart. Contact Huffy for a fix. And more toy trouble. Epic Everlasting Play is recalling thousands of Kadoozy My First Activity desks. When the toy is attached to a crib, the child can tangle his clothing on it or get his jaw trapped in the handle. Parents, you can contact the company to get either a new toy or get your money back. If you need more information on any of these recalls, you'll find it on our website. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
And a quick look at the roads with TransGuide, looking out there at Highway 90, Loop 410. Things are quiet, but they're moving this morning. I didn't see a whole lot of problems on the road on the way to work.
Justin joined us now, and we begin the month of September. And the best thing I love about that graphic behind you, other than the fact that it mentions a month that may not be as hot, is the fall foliage that's included there.
Very nice.
Yes, crank up the earth, wind, and fire. It is September. It is here, 94 degrees. The average high when we start the month, by the end of the month, we average high temperatures in the upper 80s. So September is that month where we start to see the temperatures coming down. The average low by the end of the month, 66. We officially begin fall, by the way, September 22nd, if you were interested. And you know what? The forecast looks pretty good. Temperatures are actually going to be below average here next, well, not today, but as we get into the weekend for sure. Right now, 76. Mostly cloudy. Dew point is at 71. We've got 70s basically across the board here. 75 right now in New Braunfels, 77 in Hondo, 76 down there in Pleasanton, and 70s go around here in San Antonio. We're off to a pretty warm and humid start. It's not as humid as it was yesterday, so that is one good takeaway here. Dew points are in the low 70s, but still sticky nonetheless. As far as rain goes, nothing out there really other than a few showers around Lakey, and these are really light. I don't expect much. Today's going to be one of our more quiet days, but things will begin to ramp up, as I said, as we head into the weekend. Here's the setup. We're kind of sandwiched between two ridges of high pressure. We've got our area of low pressure that's still bringing some rain to parts of far west Texas, and will continue to do so today. There are flood watches still in effect across the Big Bend where there could be some heavy rain. And you guys pointed out earlier, there's been some record heat out west. Ridge of high pressure, that heat high that set over us for so long, now sharing the wealth a little bit, moving west and bringing some pretty hot temperatures today to parts of California and Nevada. It's going to be 107 at Vegas today, 110, Death Valley, 103 in Sacramento. We don't have to deal with that, thankfully, but those folks are going to deal with some pretty hot temperatures, probably some records there. Here's what our forecast looks like. Just a 20% chance of rain today. Again, we're not looking for much. This is 5 o'clock, and this particular model really just shows a couple pop-up showers. Now, like yesterday, if you get underneath one of these, it will drop some pretty good rain, but the coverage just really won't be there today. By tomorrow morning, mostly cloudy. And then tomorrow afternoon, same story, 20% chance of rain, although I'll tell you by Friday, some energy coming in from the north. We may start to see some storms drift south towards Austin, and then eventually as we get into Saturday morning, some of those showers and storms in that overall unsettled pattern begins to set over top of us. And by Saturday, we get to bring the rain chances up to 60%, which sounds great. And Sunday will be the same way. It won't be raining all day, so if you have weekend plans, I know a lot of people have Labor Day weekend plans. No, it won't be raining all day, but our rain chances are much higher than they are next couple of days. Here's how it plays out. 60% chance both Saturday and Sunday. Labor Day, we still have a 40% chance of rain, and then the rain chances fall off a little bit next week. We do need to touch on the tropics this morning. We have a new tropical depression out there in the Atlantic. Really, it's more of a subtropical depression. This is not going to affect land, so this moves away harmlessly, but we do have a couple of other areas, 40% chance, 80% chance. These could get named eventually. Still way out in the Atlantic, though. We still have time to watch. Here's the spaghetti plot on this one that likely does develop, and notice it turns north towards the Atlantic, which 50% chance of rain, 60% chance Sunday. Some pockets of heavy rain that drags those temperatures down into the 80s. We'll still get some rain on Labor Day, and temperatures in the 90s next week. Again, you may have outdoor plans for Labor Day weekend, and I know that's maybe not ideal, but the rain, we need it.
I'm going to the coast, and I plan on making several phone calls to Justin to let him know how things are going, even in the middle of the night.
We look forward to hearing.
That's fair. I may or may not answer.
Okay. You're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah. 451, 76 degrees.
And coming up, the Lord of the Rings of Power debuts today. Well, one of the actors is telling viewers about the first 2 episodes.
By the way, the reviews for that, outstanding.
Really?
They said it is absolutely gorgeous, but they paid like $750 million for it.
I hope it's gorgeous then.
Yeah. Pick 3 numbers, 0, 16, Fireball 1. Daily 4 numbers, 4, 8, 8, 5, Fireball 0.
Cash 5, 4, 6, 26, 27, 31. Lotto Texas 1, 15, 18, 32, 37, 38. And your Powerball numbers 7, 8, 19, 24, 28. Powerball 1, Power Play 2. Good luck.
It is a big day for Lord of the Rings fans, and Avril Lavigne gets a star.
For the latest on what's happening in Hollywood, here's ABC's Jason Nathanson.
His task is now mine.
It's a huge day for fans of fantasy and J.R.R. Tolkien. The Lord of the Rings of Power debuts today. Morfydd Clark stars as the elf warrior Galadriel, and she tells me, don't worry, if you haven't watched all the movies and read all of Tolkien's books, you won't be lost.
I think the biggest character of his works is Middle-earth itself, and I think you can come in at any point. Kind of, I started with The Hobbit, some people start with Lord of the Rings, and I guess some people start with ours.
The first 2 episodes of The Rings of Power launched today on Prime Video at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. 21 years after arriving in Hollywood to make her first album, Avril Lavigne got a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, skateboard in tow, and she brought visual aids.
This is me when I was 16, my first trip to Hollywood. I had to come visit the Hollywood Walk of Fame. This is right about when I dropped out of high school.
The honor coincides with the 20th anniversary of her debut album, Let Go, which has sold more than 16 million copies worldwide. Harry Styles capturing Spotify's Song of the Summer, as it was, grabbing 610 million streams worldwide, in second worldwide, but the top streamed song in the U.S. is Kate Bush's 1985 hit, Running Up That Hill. Resurrected thanks to a starring role in the recent season of Stranger Things. And happy birthday to Zendaya. The Emmy-winning Euphoria star is 26 today, while superstar singer Gloria Estefan is 65. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. I'm Jason Nathanson, ABC News, Los Angeles.
456, 76 degrees.
As school year begins, many school districts are dealing with a shortage of teachers. A former teacher shares why she left the job that she loves.
And LG's new TVs are bendable, what you could do now to have a more immersive viewing experience.
Interesting. And taking a quick look out with TransGuide, a lot of flashing lights out there at Loop 410 at Culebra Road, but Stephen is in the house and we will be checking with him very soon.
Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Area schools making big changes to school security this morning.
As of now, I'm instructing our employees, we're not going to hide our desks to be executed. So we're going to bail out the windows.
Sabinal Superintendent Richard Grill walks us through 3 ways his schools are protecting students and teachers.
Sewage spills and a lack of running water. What's being done to ensure a local apartment complex fixes a long list of problems?
Outside with live cam this morning, a lot of humidity, mid-70s out there. We start a new month and good morning. Good morning, everybody. It is Thursday, September 1st.
Thanks for joining us. Happy September. I know it's still humid out there, but it's nice just to say it's September.
It is. Let's get an update and bus stop forecast with Justin Horn.
Yeah, well, if the kids are up right now, I'm impressed because I know my kids are not up yet. But if you are, here's your bus stop forecast this morning. 74 degrees, mostly cloudy, southeasterly winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then by the afternoon, we'll be in the mid-90s, so dress for the heat today. Isolated storm can't be ruled out, but I don't think it's likely. About a 20% chance. Southeasterly winds again light, 5 to 10 miles per hour, and partly cloudy skies today. The humidity also sticks with us. Hey, we got some football games tonight. Here's what the forecast looks like. And for tonight's games, cloudy, partly cloudy and humid. Kickoff will be around 91, by halftime 85. Sunsets at 7:56. So if you're heading out to the football games tonight, know it will be still fairly warm. Here's the live radar. We're not seeing a whole lot. Yesterday, if you remember, it was really busy. We had a lot of showers and storms out west. Not the case today. We've got a few showers up there along I-10 and then a few showers in the hill country. But other than that, really pretty quiet. In today's forecast, again, just 20% chance. If you missed the pollen count yesterday, molds are high, 5,120. Fall elm is moderate. We'll see where we land today. That pollen count comes in here in about an hour and a half, and we'll get you updated when it does. Let's get you updated on the roads, too. Any big issues out there, Stephen?
Yeah, unfortunately, Justin, we saw this as we went to commercial break. Let's get a look there at 410 at Culebra. Flashing lights, road flares, never a good sign this early in the morning or really any time on the roadway. But we do see those flashing lights out there. That is because a crash has been reported near the west side of San Antonio. And you can see that it is still an active and very busy scene out there. And, of course, very dark. So you have to make sure if you travel through that direction, you watch out for those first responders. They're working to clear this scene up. As always, we hope everybody's okay, but right now where we're seeing the buildup is actually not in the northbound lanes where the crash has been reported. We're seeing it in the southbound lanes of 410, not far from Culebra Road. We'll watch it closely and see how this is going to impact the commute, but just again, if you travel through this direction, may be best to look for a different route. We'll be doing the same as the morning does go on. Let's give you a wide look at the map. Nothing else to show you this early in the morning, just a lot of those active construction spots and closures. We'll talk more about that a little bit later on, but for now, if your travels are going to take you right here to the Alamo City, no need to rush. You can take your time this morning on I-37 northbound traveling in from Pleasanton. It's 28 minutes at this hour, half an hour, the usual drive time from Highway 90 in from Lytle. Should be about 17 minutes. Taking it back here to TransGuide 410 at Culebra Road, you can see those flashing lights out there along with the road flares. Again, we'll look for some alternative routes and give you the solutions coming up a little bit later on. Mark.
Thank you, Stephen. New this morning, San Antonio Fire Department responding to a fire at a building in the downtown area.
Jonathan Cotto joins us live from the scene. And Jonathan, tell us exactly where this is happening.
Good morning, Stephanie. I'm located on the corner of Quincy and Main, right next to I-35, where we know San Antonio Fire Department responded close to 3:30 this morning, sending out 17 units. The scene here is down, but there are some crews on scene still keeping an eye out on hot spots. I can show you the building right now. This is an abandoned commercial building that caught on fire. Fire crews responded to heavy smoke coming from the back end of this building that you see on your screen. You can still see some of the crews keeping an eye out on hots contained to a small area in the interior of that building. Another difficulty that fire crews were also met with, Mark and Stephanie, was the fact that the windows were boarded up and also barred, as you can see there on your television screen. So that was they had to really kind of just carefully breach the building, but were able to quickly contain those flames. Again, this is an abandoned structure, so no injuries were reported. Still a number of crews here on scene. Again, keeping an eye out for hot spots. Reporting live from downtown, Jonathan Cotto, KSAT 12 News.
Thanks, Jonathan. The Robb Elementary shooting has inspired schools across the state to make serious security changes. About 20 miles east of Uvalde is Sabinal, and it's no different. On Sabinal ISD campuses, there are intruder alarms alongside fire alarms. The superintendent, Richard Grill, walked us through his school, pointing out the improved classroom doors, tempered glass, and numbers on windows to mark classrooms for law enforcement outside. New this year, the district offering their staff free license to carry classes. Now, they can't have weapons in the school like a Guardian program, but they can have them in their vehicles if something were to happen.
I would like to think that I will and others will, just as an instinct to protect the kids and their colleagues.
The district has implemented the Raptor alert system this year. They'll also have law enforcement present on campuses and in an undercover armed security guard that will patrol the schools.
An area apartment complex plagued by problems is being ordered by a judge to get its act together by the end of next month. The city of Leon Valley filed a lawsuit against the Vista Del Rey apartments in August following a lengthy list of unfixed code violations. Those included sewage spills, lack of running water, and electrical problems. It was a list of about 50 issues. Now, the city says it is eyeing other apartment management companies that are straddling the line with the safe and health of its tenants.
We do have other aging complexes in our community that the city is paying attention, and that we will be looking towards making sure everybody comes compliant with all of our codes.
The management company for Vista Del Rey issued a statement saying they are working on the repairs, but add they have spent over $1.5 million since it acquired the complex back in April 2021. You can read about the specific problems on our website at KSAT.com.
The fate of ex-constable Michelle Barrientos Vela could be decided today. The state rested yesterday in the public corruption trial, however, not before defense attorney Nico LaHood gave a fiery cross-examination of Texas Ranger Bradley Freeman. LaHood attacked the state's use of a Precinct 2 clerk who resigned a day after law enforcement raided.
Trust Susan Tristan that you've known for 13 days. That's your testimony to this jury?
We trusted that Susan would tell us if there was anything on the recording that we needed to know.
Freeman issued multiple grand jury subpoenas for security records from Rodriguez Park, but never specifically asked for cash logs. Attorneys for Barrientos Vela described the gathering of documents as quote unquote deficient. 5:07 across the country, school districts struggling to fill open teaching positions. Teachers say they've been operating under strenuous working conditions for years.
But now, as ABC's Justin Finch reports, some have finally hit their breaking point.
I wouldn't call it a teacher shortage. I would call it a compensation shortage. I would call it a respect shortage. I would call it a support shortage.
After 10 years and 3 degrees, Caitlin Smith has left the job that she loves, teaching. She says there were 3 major factors that pushed her out the door. The money. Being a teacher was no longer financially feasible for her and her family. Worse, when classes went virtual during the pandemic, and the negative impact that these factors had on her mental health.
It is disheartening to know that teachers are typically the scapegoat for situations involving anything to do with public education.
She's now working from home for an education tech company and growing her small business. But what happens to the children left behind when qualified teachers like Caitlin leave to pursue a new path? Some states are taking new steps to fill the vacancies, like Florida, which passed a bill allowing military veterans without a college degree to teach students. That's concerning to many parents and educators alike.
There is a lot of education that goes into understanding how the art and science balance in education. Places that are doing that would want to have a little bit of caution.
To solve the shortage, Caitlin says those in power need to
put your money where your mouth is. You need to support teachers.
Justin Finch, ABC News, Washington.
And time now, 5:09 and 76 degrees for now.
Social media changes. What Meta is exploring that could cost you to use certain features on Facebook and Instagram.
And a historic San Antonio home vandalized. Why a missing clock that belonged to the original homeowner is so important.
Outside with Live Cam, a lot of folks have plans this weekend, the unofficial last weekend of summer 2022. He has your forecast coming up, but we'll check back in with Stephen Cavazos. We call it a U-turn to the traffic lab to get a live update. 512, the investigation continues into the vandalism at a historic San Antonio home.
Someone broke into the Uturi Edmonds home over the weekend. The 19th century home near Mission Concepcion serves as a museum. The Conservation Society of San Antonio says whoever broke in was likely looking for valuables. And heads were torn off dolls, multiple artifacts were broken, and a clock that belonged to the original homeowner is missing.
It's really the loss of the heritage of that clock that, she and her sister had invested so much in. They were very spiritual, religious people, and I think that was a very important.
Security flaw the move Apple is making to address an issue found in many of its older devices.
Plus, LG showing off a first-of-its-kind television, why it's especially great for an immersive gaming experience.
It takes energy to take on the world. So whether you're breaking a sweat, breaking down barriers, or breaking the laws of gravity, keep moving with the ultimate energy bar. We bake in delicious, wholesome ingredients, purposefully crafted with a blend of protein, fat, and carbs. Because the more good you put in, the more great you get out. Cliff, baked in goodness. Now introducing Cliff Thins, a crispy, craveable 100-calorie snack.
It's Girls Trip, wonderful time.
Get fast relief of your worst allergy symptoms, including nasal congestion, with powerful Claritin D, so you can breathe better, feel the clarity, and make today the most wonderful time of the year. Claritin D.
With GoDaddy Payments, you can sell anything, anywhere. Get paid online or in person, and manage all your sales from one place with the lowest transaction fees. Because if you've got it, we've got you. Start today at GoDaddy.com/payments.
Just about 5:17, Meta reportedly planning to bring more paid features to Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp. Here's ABC's Andrew Dimbert with details in today's Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, Meta is reportedly looking to expand paid features across Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp. One company executive said they're seeking opportunities to build new products and experiences that people would be willing to pay for. Apple is out with an update of iOS 12 to deal with a security flaw. If you're hanging on to iPhone models 5S, 6, or 6 Plus, you'll need to download a security patch. Just go to Settings, click on General, then select Software Update. And LG has its first bendable OLED TV called the LG Flex. It allows a choice between flat and curved modes at the touch of a button. The curved screen provides a more immersive gaming experience. Neither the price nor the release date has been made public. Good thing the bendable TV isn't round, otherwise there'd be no point. Those are your Tech Bites. Have a great day.
I can't even look him in the eyes anymore. I applaud his effort again.
Yeah, at least he's trying.
Yes,
5:18. Still problems out there at Loop 410 and Culebra Road. Let's go ahead and check back with Stephen Cavazos.
Really quick, that TV that we're just showing us, I was talking to Hardy, our producer, in our ear, and we should get one of those bendable TVs for the Terrence Guide cameras. It'd be a lot easier to see some of those things that are out there right now. But one of the crashes that we're seeing right now is right there along Loop 410 at Culebra. It's pretty clear. Let's go ahead and get a wide look now. You can see that we still have those first responders out there on the roadway. You have to watch out. It doesn't look like it's causing a whole lot of issues for drivers making their way in the northbound lanes of 410, but still very dark. So we know that there are some first responders out on the road. Watch out for them carefully because it is, again, a dark place. Where we are seeing the buildup is not in the northbound lanes where the crash has been reported. Again, slight buildup in the southbound lanes of 410. It's nothing too drastic, so I don't think you're going to need an alternative route just yet, but just something to be on the lookout for if you travel through that area. Now let's give you this wide look of the metro area at 519. You could see pretty much the same situation we told you about earlier. One of the areas that we want to continue to remind you about is 410 over here on the south side of San Antonio, where utility work continues to take place. According to TechStat, we have at least one more day of it, and that's today. It will start at 9 in the morning and wrap around 3 in the afternoon. During that time, a single main lane closure in both directions from Old Pearsall Road to I-37. But you know where to find that information. Grab those phones, open your camera app, scan that QR code that will take you directly to the KSAT traffic page. Has a list of all the closures happening in and around the Alamo City. So it's important to know how to plan your commute before you get out on the roadways. Guys.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Humidity today?
Yes. Yeah, that's not going away. It's going to be humid for the foreseeable future. But we're okay with that as long as it creates some rain. And yesterday, we showed you some of the rainfall totals across parts of Bandera County. Well, the Medina River really benefited from that rainfall. Some places picking up over 7 inches, right? So let's take you to the Medina River. And yesterday it started at 0.6 cubic feet per second. That's the stream flow. By the end of the day, when it peaked, it was at 253. So all that rain was coming down the Medina River, and it started to flow again right around Pipe Creek, which was incredible. As of this morning, it's fallen off quite a bit. It's at 82.2. But to see some of these rivers see flow again, which is it's great. And I think we're going to see more of that as we get more rain around the area, because a lot of them did unfortunately dry up. What did that do for Medina Lake? Well, it's still only 8% full. We didn't really see a bump yet. There could be some. Keep in mind, though, Medina Lake's watershed's pretty small, so it takes a lot of rain over a concentrated area to really get Medina Lake back up to where it was. Radar not showing a lot of rain this morning. We've got a few showers up across the hill country, a few showers out near Lake and Concan, but nothing here around San Antonio, and mostly cloudy skies. 76 right now, 77 Stinson, 77 Kelly, 75 at Randolph. Temperatures are in the 60s for everybody. We start off at 60s, 70s, not 60s. Someday we'll be in the 60s in the morning, but not this morning. 70s, and we'll get into the 90s this afternoon. Let's talk rainfall now. 20% chance of rain today. It'll be isolated stuff. Yesterday, it was fairly isolated. I think we have even less coverage today. And tomorrow, same story. It's not until Friday night we start to shift our attention to the north. That's where some energy will start to come in. I think we'll see some rain across central Texas, and then that'll work south into the area by Saturday. And we get to raise rain chances up to 60%. So I think we'll see some pretty good coverage on Saturday. It's not going to be rainy all day long, so if you have plans, know that. But if we do see some of these heavier downpours, there could be some good rain. I mean, I think we'll see some decent totals out of it. The KSAT 12-hour forecast. Mostly cloudy this morning, just a 10% chance of rain. We're at 87 by noontime, and by the afternoon, we top out in the mid-90s with a 20% chance of rain. That 94, by the way, will feel quite a bit warmer thanks to the humidity. This is for Mark. If you're heading down to the coast this weekend, here's the forecast. Lots of clouds.
Thank you. Very nice of you.
Yeah, you got it, man. Lots of clouds. Pretty decent chance of rain, unfortunately. 80% chance of showers really both days, and a 70% chance on Monday. So it could be a little bit gray. Temperatures in the upper 80s, close to 90. I know that's not ideal. Sorry. Wow. Tough crowd. Extended forecast, just the 20% chance of rain next couple of days. And much like the coast here in San Antonio, we'll see quite a bit of cloud cover over the weekend with those good chances for rain. And that continues into next week.
You know what? I'm actually feeling blessed. A chance to go and not have a tropical storm or something.
Yeah,
so I knew
that
it's September. I knew that.
Are you fishing?
No, just going to hang out.
Got it.
Yeah.
Because that's actually, rain's actually not bad fishing weather, right?
Oh, some of the best fishing is during rain. So,
there you go.
I think it'll be more comfortable being overcast here and there.
I think so, yeah. So
on sunburn.
Going either way. Yes, I will not get sunburned. That's my goal. No lobsterbacks. 523, 76 degrees.
Dolly Parton launches a canine fashion line. You're going to love the name of it. Plus, Emily Deschanel and Madeline
series you may want to watch with the lights on.
Plus the music legend whose latest project is for the dogs. Here's CNN's David Daniel with the Hollywood Minute.
We wanted something that would just be dazzling.
Dolly Parton is sharing her style with our four-legged friends. The superstar is launching Doggy Parton, a line of dog apparel and accessories with that Dolly flair. Part of the proceeds will go to a Tennessee animal rescue nonprofit. Info at doggyparton.com.
You brought her home with you? I couldn't abandon her. She's been through so much trauma. It's important that May feels safe here.
A teenage girl escapes from a satanic cult in the limited series Devil in Ohio, based on a novel inspired by true events. Stars Emily Deschanel and Madeline Arthur both say they love thrillers.
I don't like being too scared, but I find doing scary things so much better than watching them.
You know all the magician's tricks, so there's nothing.
I know. So when
Absolutely.
you're filming, you're don't even think about how creepy it is. And then you watch it and like, oh gosh, I forgot this is the creepy thing.
Devil in Ohio debuts Friday on Netflix. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
527, 76 degrees.
Special hearing for former President Donald Trump, the reason he's giving for having classified documents in his Florida home.
A popular retailer is closing about 150 of its stores, the plan it has in order to stay in business.
Plus, air travel freebies, how the Biden administration is forcing changes when it comes to vouchers given out for flight delays and cancellations.
They're the heroes of our highways, out here to keep drivers safe. Good morning, I'm Katrina Weber. I'll tell you how you can help to ensure their safety coming up.
Former President Trump preparing for a special hearing today.
I had told the president this when I worked with him in the Oval Office. It's very rarely the original act that gets people in trouble. It's the attempts to obstruct or cover up after the fact.
Why Trump is insisting he had a right to have classified documents at his home.
And taking a look outside with a live cam. Pretty quiet as far as the rain goes, but we are at 76 degrees.
Morning, it is Thursday, September 1st.
Happy September. Goodbye to August, which wasn't that bad with the rain and the lower temperatures considering.
Let's find out what's happening for our Friday and our long Labor Day weekend. Justin is in for Mike. Can we expect any random showers out there this morning, Justin?
There are a few. We have some showers in the hill country, nothing that's very heavy. And I think most of today it's going to be isolated type stuff. Before we jump into September, let's take a look back at yesterday, the last day of August. We had scenes like this one. Those build-up showers, brief thunderstorms, you get these anvil-looking clouds are pretty cool. Those clouds that'll build up in the afternoon, and then they spread out up top, and you get these anvil-looking situations. That's a great shot. Raider 4205 sent that in. We love the pictures on KSAT Connect. As always, you can do that on our KSAT weather app. Weather headlines. Here's what we're looking for today. Just isolated activity with some more pop-up showers and storms. Now, as we get into the weekend, though, it gets a little more active. Scattered showers and storms. We could see some pockets of heavy rain. We'll watch for some flooding. I don't think it'll be widespread, but there could be some places where, especially where we've already seen some heavy rain, if we get more, there could be some issues. Something we'll watch over the weekend. Right now, 76 degrees, dew point is at 71, northeasterly winds at about 3. Feels like number not there yet, but it will be this afternoon. Your KSAT 12-hour forecast. Just a small chance of rain this morning. Partly cloudy this afternoon, 87 at noontime. And really, it's going to be pretty warm. So we start September off on a warm note, but don't worry, it doesn't stay that way. 94 with a heat index close to 100 this afternoon. 20% chance of rain. So we're going to look at the climatology for September. We'll also get you set for your weekend. We'll time out some of those rain chances for you. That's coming up here in just a few minutes. But we got to get over to Stephen now. Morning commute beginning to pick up a little bit?
I would say in some spots, Justin, these TransGuide cameras there are showing a better view than what we saw earlier in the morning. 410 at Glebta. If you were with us, you did see that there were some flashing lights out there along with some first responders. That was a crash that we were reporting. That was actually in the northbound lanes of 410. And now you can see both the north and southbound lanes. Traffic is moving. Just remember to drive carefully. Taking you right to the map, we're going to clear that out. You don't see it there anymore. But what we are going to continue to see, at least throughout the morning, are some of those active construction spots. And of course, as always, as long as the roads stay quiet, we'll continue to give you those updates. But for now, it looks like you're going to be in the clear. Same situation if you're going to be traveling into the Alamo City from any of these communities. Still pretty green from Seguin on I-10 westbound. 29 minutes at this hour. A little more than half an hour coming in from Livonia on 87 northbound with 33 minutes. And it's just a 27-minute drive time for our friends down in Floresville. So don't rush out the door. Enjoy your cup of coffee at home. Taking you back to the map. Really nothing else to show you out there, but we're going to watch the roads closely as always. Make sure you do the same. Guys.
Stephen, thank you. Happening now, San Antonio Fire Department still at the scene of a fire at a building downtown.
Our Jonathan Cotto is live there at the scene. Jonathan, where exactly is this happening?
Stephanie, I'm located on the corner of Main and Quincy. The scene here, the number of crews is starting to dwindle down. What we know is a very busy scene earlier this morning. We can take a look at what those video images look like. Just after 3 o'clock this morning, San Antonio Fire Department responding to the 100 block of Quincy. This is in downtown. We know they arrived to heavy smoke coming from the back end of this commercial building. This commercial building is about 1,000 square feet. They tell us the building was heavily engulfed in flames from the interior. They were met with a number of challenges, one of them being the fact that the windows are not only barred, but they were also boarded up, so they had to carefully and cautiously break through that boarding to be able to access the fire and quickly put out the flames. But the good news here, Mark and Stephanie, is that no injuries were reported. Again, this was or is an abandoned structure, and they tell us that there's been a number of fires reported at this very same building here in the past. But of course, this is all under investigation. We'll keep you updated as more information is made available. Reporting live from downtown, Jonathan Cotto, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Jonathan. A judge is set to hear arguments this afternoon related to the search of former President Donald Trump's home. Trump and his attorneys are asking for a special master.
That person would sort through what the FBI seized and filter out anything that may be protected by attorney-client privilege. CNN's Amy Kiley previews the hearing.
Attorneys for former President Donald Trump and the Justice Department are due in court this afternoon. The hearing is about whether a special master should review documents the FBI seized from Trump's home. Trump reiterated his request for one in a filing last night.
Everything about the filing is odd.
Trump's filing doesn't address obstruction allegations made by the DOJ.
I had told the president this when I worked with him in the Oval Office. It's very rarely the original act that gets people in trouble. It's the attempts to obstruct or cover up after the fact.
Trump's filing lays out his case for a special master appointment.
The special master arguments are all about attorney-client privilege, but they try pretty clumsily to elide them into an executive privilege situation.
In his filing, Trump seems to acknowledge the FBI seized documents marked classified, but he has asserted that should have been expected with presidential records.
That procedure is they are in the archives where they belong.
Requesting a special master now could be a stall tactic, according to this expert.
I think this document shows they didn't have time to really confront and grapple with what the government has put forward. It's quite an indictment.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
Ordered by the state of Texas, undocumented migrants arrived in Chicago last night. This is the third major city which Texas has transported migrants to. Comes after the state sent more than 8,000 migrants to New York and Washington, D.C. The Texas Division of Emergency Management released new numbers this week showing that as of August 9th, the state has spent more than $12 million on its charter busing program. Governor Abbott's office has solicited private donations to help defray the costs of the busing. However, as of August 17th, it had only received about $168,000.
American adults are not getting enough exercise, and that is according to a new U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention survey. Now, it found less than a quarter of adults are meeting physical activity guidelines. The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services recommends at least 150 to 300 minutes of moderate intensity exercise a week, or 75 to 150 minutes of vigorous exercise, or an equivalent combination of both. The survey found that men were more likely than women to meet activity guidelines, but those numbers fell with age.
Humans are one small step closer to landing on the red planet. Oxygen has been created on Mars as part of NASA's Perseverance rover mission. It was produced by the Mars Oxygen In Situ Resource Utilization Experiment, better known as MOXIE. Since testing began in April of 2021, MOXIE has produced oxygen on 7 experimental runs with a variety of atmospheric conditions. In each run, MOXIE reached its target of producing 6 grams of oxygen per hour. That's about the rate of a modest tree on Earth.
And time now, 5:38 and 76 degrees for now.
Bed Bath & Beyond laying off about 20% of its workforce. The number of stores the retailer is expected to close soon will tell you.
Travel experts, more Americans are hitting the road for Labor Day than they did over the summer. We're going to tell you which bookings are up more than 20% compared to last year.
Outside with Live Cam, have outdoor plans this weekend. There's a pretty good chance, maybe a picnic or a run to a lake or river or swimming pool. Justin has your Labor Day weekend forecast coming up right here on GMSA. Time check 5:41. Gas prices continue to decline at the pump just ahead of the Labor Day holiday weekend, and Americans are taking advantage, with some experts expecting more traffic on the roads.
And AAA is reporting an increase in travel bookings this holiday weekend. CNN's Emily Schmidt had some important things you need to do before heading out of town.
It's the unofficial end of summer, and this holiday weekend, the number of Americans heading out of town is expected to climb as gas prices decline.
There likely will be more Americans hitting the road than what we've seen from earlier this summer.
According to AAA, domestic bookings for car, air, cruise, hotel, and tours for Labor Day weekend are up 22%. Rates almost 32% compared to 2020. Experts say gas prices have fallen significantly from their summer peak, fueling demand for end-of-summer road trips.
This is the lowest we've seen prices in many months. So with summer rapidly closing, it likely will mean more Americans will be hitting the road for Labor Day than we otherwise would have seen if prices remained high.
Patrick DeHaan, head of petroleum analysis at Gas Buddy, has these 3 recommendations if you're driving to your destination. Plan ahead, drive during off-peak times, and avoid Friday and Monday afternoon and evening, which typically see highest traffic volume. And fuel up your tank when you spot cheap gas to avoid paying more at popular tourist spots.
Gas prices can fluctuate 20 to 50 cents a gallon simply by crossing a state line.
Meanwhile, some airports are bracing for large crowds. Officials from Philadelphia International Airport say they are bracing for their busiest Labor Day since 2019. And travel experts say declining oil prices are leading to lower airfares and higher demand.
Certainly an important factor when it comes to airfare. And so this is why I think there are more tailwinds right now when it comes to travel prices than headwinds.
For today's Consumer Watch, I'm Emily Schmidt.
And time now is 5:43 and 76 degrees for now.
All right, coming up on GMSA, check out this cute pup looking for a new home. We'll tell you where you can adopt him.
Look at this little baby with a little puppy belly and everything here. Lucy is here from the San Antonio Humane girl.
Look at her. She's beautiful. Look at the ears, the paws, and the belly.
And that classic little dark shepherd snout. Hi, Pumpkin.
This is Leslie.
Early because she still got puppy breath. Yes, you do. Now you're getting that. Oh, so who's this little girl?
This is Leslie. She's a 2-month-old retriever shepherd mix, as you can see. So beautiful, so sweet. Just a baby looking for that loving home where she can grow. She still has a lot of growing to do.
And yeah, with these paws, she's got some decent-sized paws to grow into. She is going to make the perfect walking, running,
right
in the backyard with the kids' partner. Yes, indeed. Yes. Oh, with those, I love the ears, how they kind of tilt forward a little bit.
So cute.
Yes, hi, sweet.
And she loves you.
And those soft little, don't tempt me. What do you got going on?
Yeah, so we are always looking for volunteers. We have our new volunteer orientation coming up on September 14th. So if you are interested in helping us take care of our pets like Miss Leslie, just sign up on our website at sahumane.org/volunteer. And there you'll find all the information. We love volunteers. They do so much in all areas.
And also now that school's back in, a lot of times with high school kids and maybe even middle school, they need volunteer hours.
Yes,
so
exactly.
Perfect way to get it.
Perfect, exactly. So we love them so much. Help us sign up and be part of our family.
All right, well, more information on all the volunteer opportunities, and there's literally everything you can do there, or this little baby. Head on 4804 Fredericksburg Road. Give them a call, 226-7461. Thank you, dear.
Thank you.
How cute. In your morning consumer headlines, retailer Bed Bath & Beyond closing 150 of its roughly 950 brick and mortar stores. It also announced layoffs for about 20% of its staff. Bed Bath & Beyond executives tried to calm fears about the chain's future with news of a new financial lifeline. The retailer has secured a $500 million loan, which it hopes to use to stay afloat and retool.
Major airlines tweaking their protocols for when passengers can get meal and hotel vouchers if a flight is delayed and, more importantly, canceled, in response to pressure from the Biden administration to step up their game when it comes to consumer rights. United is now offering meal vouchers for flights delayed more than 3 hours when the previous threshold was 4. American is offering a hotel room for travelers that need to wait overnight, so long as the cancellations are not caused by something beyond the airline's control, like weather. Southwest Airlines has a similar policy.
And time now, 5:49, and from these cameras, it looks like things are okay so far. Let's check in with Stephen Cavazos.
Yeah, getting closer to 6 a.m. and thankfully no major issues to report there off of the I-10 at Bicentennial. But let's check out I-10 there. You can continue to see that traffic, what we have noticed, is starting to pick up in a lot of these TransGuide cameras. There's I-10 at Foster Road, where we have a busier commute, and other spots there at Fredericksburg, definitely still a little quiet, but we are seeing just, again, more folks out there as the morning is getting rolling. Taking you to the map, we really don't have a lot to talk about there, just some quiet roadways, but that will change in the next hour or so. They'll get pretty busy, so just remember to drive carefully and also plan ahead. This is something that we are going to talk about now that we are in the month of September. More work will take place. Let's talk about what's happening here off Loop 1604 on the northwest side of San Antonio. There'll be some relocation of barriers. If you've driven through there, you've likely seen them. This will actually start next Thursday. That's on September 8th, and according to TxDOT, a portion of this will wrap up on Thursday, September 15th. It's overnight, so just watch out, you late night owls or early bird commuters. 9 in the evening to 5 in the morning is when you'll see that eastbound entrance ramp full closure at La Cantera Parkway. And of course, that information is on our website at ksat.com/traffic. But right now, traffic there at 281 at Evans is moving just fine. Guys.
Fantastic news. Thanks, Stephen.
Good news. We love that background, Justin.
Oh,
yes.
Very nice.
Very PSL.
Yeah, I was going to say very pumpkin spice or caramel macchiato.
Ooh, all of those.
I don't know.
Stepped it up. I like it. September, 94, the average high when we start the month. The average low is 73. And by the end of the month, we're averaging 87. The average low is 66. So temperatures drop. We start getting fronts this time of year. Not any fronts in the forecast, but we do have some decent rain chances headed our way. By the way, fall officially begins September 22nd. Here's the radar. We've got some showers this morning in the hill country, Fredericksburg over to Junction. This is really light stuff, but we are noticing more light showers trying to show up. A few light showers in the hill country. Nothing here around San Antonio, just mostly cloudy skies. And as we check in on the temperature, 76. Northeasterly winds are light at about 3 miles per hour. Winds will stay low today. Here's our forecast. Just a 20% chance of rain this afternoon. This model paints just a couple of isolated showers or storms popping up. And then by tomorrow morning, clouds fill back in. And we do it again, just isolated showers or storms. 20% chance both today and tomorrow. But by Friday night, we start to look to the north. Energy is going to come in across central Texas and eventually work its way down into our neck of the woods by Saturday, I think. And by Saturday, rain's going to be more widespread. So we're going to up the rain chances to 60%. Scattered showers and storms. It's not going to rain all day long, but there will be some pockets of heavy rain mixed in there. And I think Sunday looks pretty similar to Saturday, so a somewhat wet weekend. Your KSAT 12-hour forecast, 79 by 9 o'clock. By noontime today, 87, partly cloudy, and by the afternoon, 94. It will be fairly warm, 20% chance of rain mixed in there, but the heat indices will be up near 100, so keep that in mind if you've got plans to go to some of the football games tonight or whatever plans you may have. It is going to be fairly warm today. Area of low pressure out across parts of Mexico, still bringing some good heavy rain to far west Texas, and that's where flood watches are in effect today. Meantime, our heat high, which was over us most of the summer, has shifted west, and now there is record heat across parts of California. Las Vegas, up around 108 today. Death Valley, 111. Sacramento, 103. Phoenix, 105. So that's where all the heat is. Thankfully not over us, but unfortunately those are drought-stricken areas too that need some rain. And for them, it's just going to be the hot temperatures today. In the tropics, very quickly, we now have tropical depression number 5 up here. It's not a deal at this point, but the tropics are beginning to heat up. Extended forecast, 20% chance of rain Friday, 60% chance both Saturday and Sunday. There could be some pockets of heavy rain. Even Labor Day, we see some good rain chances. I know a lot of people have outdoor plans this weekend. This doesn't match up terribly well with that, but we do need the rain, and hopefully it'll be kind of hit or miss stuff with good rainfall for some of us. Hopefully it rains where you are.
I'd say if you have outdoor plans, keep them. Just know that you might be an issue, especially if there's lightning, to play it safe.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Pack those umbrellas.
Thank you very much, Justin. Right now, 5:53, 76 degrees.
Look at your winning lotto numbers. We have pick 30161. Actually, that Fireball is 1. Daily 4, 4885, Fireball 0.
Cash 5 numbers 4, 6, 26, 27, 31. Lotto Texas 1, 15, 18, 32, 37, 38. And Powerball 7, 8, 19, 24, 28. Powerball of 1 and Power Play 2. Good luck from all of us here at GMSA.
Good morning. Coming up here on GMA, the latest on the fight over the highly classified documents seized from former President Trump. His lawyers set to face off with the Justice Department in court. And the holiday travel exodus, the best and worst times to hit the road, and the pilot picket lines planned at airports around the nation. We're also putting the cherry on top of our sweetest week ever with the best milkshakes in America. That and so much more coming up right here on GMA.
Ahead in our next hour, GMSA firefighters in California have their hands full with this massive fire. Look at this video on your screen. We'll tell you if anyone was hurt. A Southwest Airlines flight nearly delayed. The reason may surprise you. Word's been getting out this week about this viral story. We'll show you a video of the pilots warning the passengers that has since become a viral clip. And an investigation underway after an early morning blaze at a building just north of downtown. We'll tell you if anyone was hurt in this one. TransGuide right now, folks ready to get Friday going so they can jump right into the long Labor Day weekend. A forecast and look at traffic still to come.
New this morning, a man sentenced after a deadly hit-and-run crash. What we just learned about how long he'll spend in jail.
And caught on camera, take a look at your screen. The moment a train collides into an 18-wheeler. We'll tell you if anyone was hurt.
And taking a look outside with live cam this morning, we're at 76 degrees. No rain on this shot, but we are expecting some chances over the weekend.
Live from KSAT 12. Good morning, San Antonio starts right now.
Good morning, Rise and Shine. It is Thursday, September 1st.
Happy September. Happy Thursday. Thanks for joining us. We're excited about the Labor Day weekend and rain chances as well.
We are one day closer to that Labor Day weekend, and I just realized that for most of the morning, I've been treating today like Friday, but that's okay. We're looking forward, not backward.
Yeah.
It feels like Friday, though. It really does. Yeah, today and Friday, tomorrow, are going to be pretty similar. We're going to have just some isolated chances, but the weekend brings some better rain chances. And I was just thinking, man, sitting on the couch watching some college football with some rain coming down, sounds ideal to me. Now, you may have outdoor plans, so just know that rain chances are going to be boosted over the weekend. Radar right now doesn't give us a whole lot. We've got some light showers moving across the hill country, a few light showers. Out near Concan and Lakey, nothing here over San Antonio, so the morning commute is still a dry one. I expect that it stays that way. We will get, though, some isolated storms this afternoon. Pollen count, if you missed it yesterday, molds are still high. Fall is moderate. We'll see where we land today. We'll see if those numbers come down a little bit, but that's where we stand right now. KSAT 12-hour forecast. 10% chance of rain through the morning time. We make it up to 89 by 1 o'clock. We bring the rain chances up just a little bit, 20% chance by dinner time. Temperatures up around 94. It'll feel hotter than that, of course, with the humidity around. And if you have plans to head out to some of the football games tonight, well, it will be pretty warm to start, 91 at kickoff, but by halftime we're at 85 at sunset at 7:56. We may have to dodge a shower. We don't expect a ton on the radar, though, later today. We're going to look ahead to the weekend, talk more about that. Plus, we'll have a look at the coast forecast if you're heading down there. We'll have the latest on that in just a few minutes. But let's get over to Stephen now with what you can expect on your roads this morning.
It's been a dry commute so far, Justin. Let's get a look there at 281. We're going to see if we can go ahead and bring the shot back to TransGuide if possible.
Hi. I hear them talking.
There we go. All right. Hey, that's what makes live TV so interesting, right? All right, let's get a look there. I-10, you can see traffic is already moving. Not really a lot to talk about, and that's good. We'll get back to Mark and Steph in just a moment, but let's just tell you what you can expect at this hour. You can see that it is getting a little busier at certain spots. I-10, one of those areas you can expect to see some heavy traffic, but let's take you to the map because not a lot to show you out there. Active construction, which we'll continue to talk about, as well as other road closures that you may want to be aware of before you drive off into the day. But let's take a look at those travel times because if you're driving into the Bernie All right, I-10 eastbound, 24 minutes for our friends up there. 27 on 281 southbound, so no need to hurry coming in from Bulverde. And a 25-minute drive time, not too awful, heading in from New Braunfels on I-35 southbound. So things look like they're in great shape, but taking it back to TransGuide, US 90 at Couples, the commute is picking up. Let's head over back to Mark and Steph.
Thank you, Stephen. New this morning, San Antonio fire responding to a blaze in an abandoned building downtown. We know at least 17 fire units were called out to the scene.
Our Jonathan Cotto joins us live from the scene. And Jonathan, we know the building was vacant, but do crews know what started this fire?
That's right, Stephanie. Well, right now the cause of the fire is under investigation, but crews do know that the fire started in the interior of the building here towards the back end. The scene is now clear here in downtown, but we can take a look at what that scene looked like earlier this morning. We know San Antonio firefighters responded to the 100 block of Quincy. This is right next to Main Street here in downtown, below the 157 Bravo, McCullough Avenue and Brooklyn Avenue exits. Now, the building fully engulfed in smoke, the flames coming from the interior of the abandoned structure. This is about 1,000 square foot building. Fire investigators tell us they did have a couple of challenges as they fought the flames. The windows are barred and they were boarded up, so they had to kind of enter the building cautiously and break through that to be able to extinguish and quickly put out those flames from the inside. But the good news here this morning is that no injuries were reported as the building was vacant. But the interesting thing about this fire also, it's not the first time this building was set on fire, but again, the cause is under investigation. Reporting live from downtown, Jonathan Cotto, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Jonathan. New this morning, a man accused of hitting and killing a motorcyclist back in 2020 has been sentenced to 18 years in prison. This comes after pleading guilty in that case. The Bexar County DA's office saying that Christopher Norton was charged with failure to stop and render aid and causing death following the crash that claimed the life of a 48-year-old man. Norton pled guilty in July to that charge and an unrelated second-degree charge of assault on a family member.
This morning, an area teacher facing child pornography charges. Mark Mallow is now on administrative leave with the Judson Independent School District. In an affidavit, investigators say Mallow was a band teacher at Woodlake Hills Middle School in the Judson District. Officials say families were notified of the arrest and the investigation remains open. Another teacher off the job in a different district for a different reason.
Edgewood ISD fired a teacher who was heard telling a student, quote, "The very fact that you exist annoys me," end quote. That student shared what led up to the incident at E.T. Wren Middle School. 12-year-old Leonardo Ramirez says a friend had asked for a piece of paper. When he went to get it, Ramirez says the teacher then accused him of talking and joking around. Ramirez says the teacher also hurled insults that weren't caught on camera.
Que mi cara lo fastidia, que mi voz lo fastidia, que mi nombre lo fastidia, que cuando entro a la clase lo fastidia, cuando me mira lo fastidia. Está enojado, pero nada más puse mi cabeza para abajo.
The teacher was fired after video of part of the incident came to light. Ramirez's father says he still has faith in teachers, but believes this instructor made a bad decision.
The fate of Michelle Barrientos Vela could be decided today.
State rested yesterday in the public corruption trial. However, not before defense attorney Nico LaHood gave a fiery cross-examination of Texas Ranger Bradley Freeman. LaHood attacked the state's use of a Precinct 2 clerk who resigned a day after law enforcement raided her workplace.
You made that assessment to trust Susan Tristan that you've known for 13 days. That's your testimony to this jury?
We trusted that Susan would tell us if there was anything on the recording that we needed to know.
Freeman issued multiple grand jury subpoenas for security records from Rodriguez Park, but never specifically asked for cache logs. Attorneys for Barrientos Vela described the gathering of documents as deficient. The investigation continues into the vandalism at a historic San Antonio home. Someone broke into the Yeturi Edmonds home over the weekend. The 19th century home near Mission Concepcion serves as a museum. Now, the Conservation Society of San Antonio says whoever broke in was likely looking for valuables. Heads were torn off of dolls, multiple artifacts are broken, and a clock that belonged to the original homeowner is missing.
It's really the loss of the heritage of that clock that, she and her sister had invested so much in. They were very spiritual, religious people, and I think that was a very important piece.
The Conservation Society saying it has already fixed a door, but overall repairs are expected to cost a few $1,000s.
Caught on camera, surveillance video shows the moment a train smashes into the middle of an 18-wheeler. All this unfolding Tuesday night in Maryland in the town of Rosedale. Right there, you see the driver of the semi does not pay attention to a stop sign on the tracks, keeps going, and seconds later the train slams into it. The train was hit the truck was on the opposite track and may have been hard for the driver to see. Luckily, no one was hurt in the crash.
And time now, 6:08 and 76 degrees for now.
Much more to come on GMSA, including this massive fire burning right now in California. You can see the flames shooting up into the sky. We'll tell you if anyone was hurt.
And coming up right after the break, we're going to get you ready for week 2 of the high school football season. We're also going to hear from players and coaches about how they're preparing.
Outside with live cam, looking ahead to the long Labor Day weekend and our chance of storms. Justin is in for Mike. We'll check in with him coming up. 6-12, week 1 of the high school football season brought some unforgettable matchups. So now what does week 2 have in store? KSAT Sports' Andrew Seeley breaks down the best games to stream on the Big Game Coverage app this Friday night.
This Friday night, the big game in our Big Game Coverage is also the best game on the streaming schedule. Steele versus Lake Travis.
Scrambling. Still scrambling. Throws. Caught! Oh!
The Knights rallied late to top Brandon 35-34 in the final game of the KSAT Pigskin Classic this past Saturday, while the Cavaliers lost their season opener on the road against Arlington Martin 9-31. Lake Travis quarterback Bo Edmondson did not play in that game. The Michigan State commit has been dealing with lower back tightness, but the Knights expect a real battle all the same.
We know that we have a very tough opponent, but we're going to treat it as if it's anybody else, and with our instructions from the coaches, I have nothing but confidence in our team.
They're extremely well coached. They're a really good football team in all 3 phases. We've played them in the past, and it always seems to come down to a 48-minute game, and I wouldn't expect anything different this year. Kick is long enough. It's good!
Meanwhile, Judson is right back on the practice field after an emotional victory over Johnson. The Rockets play host to Austin Westlake, the 3-time defending state champions.
We know they're a great team. Everybody knows who they are. We're the underdogs, most definitely, but like Coach told us today, we worry about ourselves and we'll get the job done.
And on the other side of town, Somerset and Southside will renew the battle of 1604. Both teams come into this matchup undefeated at 1-0. Somerset won the most recent meeting last year thanks to a defensive gem, 10-6. The rematch will take place right here at Bulldog Stadium on Somerset's home turf. We'll see who comes out on top this year. For Good Morning San Antonio, I'm Andrew Seeley.
Andrew, thank you so much. KSAT 12 Sports was in Carrizo Springs for the Uvalde Coyotes season opener last Friday, which they won 21-13. And now KSAT will stream live on all our platforms the Uvalde home opener at the Honey Bowl this Friday night. Starts at 6:30 p.m. with pregame show. Then we'll carry the entire game, including halftime, with Eagle Pass win.
And also in Uvalde, the Pizza Hut there is donating over 1,400 pizzas to elementary students. The donation will be made this month to students attending Flores Elementary, Uvalde Elementary, and Dalton Elementary schools. Students from those schools will be presented with a certificate for a free large pizza at each of the schools. 6:15. Let's go ahead and check back with our Stephen Cavazos.
Things are moving just fine over here, guys. Let's get a look right now. TransGuide 281 at San Pedro. You can see the commute is already picking up, as well as there at 35 at Main, and of course at 1604 near 35 over on the northeast side, one of the busier corridors in town. So things are moving just fine, but just always watch out. Although we're not seeing anything just yet that's going to hinder the commute, there's always going to be those road closures you want to be on the lookout for. And we talked about some that are going to be taking place throughout the month of September. Here's another reminder, because this is taking place on Friday, September 9th, over on the north side of San Antonio. That bridge work we continue to mention over there. This will be overnight. We'll start at 8 in the evening, wrap at 5 in the morning, and it's during that time. Drivers, you'll see a full closure of the intersection at Wilderness Oak. So as I mentioned, plan your commute ahead of time. You can grab those phones now, open the camera app, scan the QR code. We'll leave it up for a few seconds. Tap the center of your screen. That will take you directly to the KSAT traffic page. And if you scroll to the bottom, you're going to find a list of all the closures that are current and taking place in and around the Alamo City. Guys.
Thank you, Stephen.
All right, Justin, the school bus forecast.
Let's bring it in. It is school bus time. And if you're heading out to the bus stop this morning, temperatures are in the mid-70s. It's humid. It's mostly cloudy. We're going to start off with quite a bit of humidity, probably in that way, too. Although, unlike yesterday, we won't see as many showers and storms around the area. Just a 20% chance this afternoon. It's 93 when you get out of school, and it will feel a little bit warmer than that with southeasterly winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Interesting thing happened yesterday, Medina River. We got a ton of rain, if you remember, in western parts of Bandera County. That all funneled down into the Medina River. And when we checked in on the water flow, the stream flow there at Pipe Creek, it went from 0.6 cubic feet per second to 253 with just within 9 hours. Pretty incredible as the water really picked up down the Medina River. As of this morning, it's at 82.2, so it's fallen off a little bit. But the question was, did a lot of that water feed into the Medina Lake? Well, still 8% full. We didn't see a big bump there. We may see numbers come up a little bit, but the watershed from Medina Lake is pretty small, and we need sort of a lot of rain over a concentrated area for Medina Lake to get filled back up. But good to see the streams and rivers starting to flow a little bit more as we get more rain around the area, and there is more in the forecast. Live radar right now doesn't give us a whole lot. We've got a few showers up across the hill country, a few out near Lakey this morning, but nothing here over San Antonio. This is all ground clutter here. So we're just going to see that light shower activity, and most of that comes to an end here next couple of hours. I was going to go outside for you. 77 at the airport, 77 at both Stinson and Kelly, and we're down to 75 at Randolph. Looking at the forecast for today, 20% chance of rain is really all that we'll get. I think some pop-up downpours, and if you do get underneath one of these, it will produce some good rain. It's just there's not going to be a widespread rain today, and in fact, I think we get a little less coverage than yesterday. Friday looks pretty similar, 20% chance of rain as we head into the afternoon. This is 5 p.m. tomorrow, not much there. But we turn our attention north because some energy will start to come in from central Texas, and by Saturday, our rain chances pick up pretty significantly. We pop it up to 60%. And by Saturday afternoon, I think we're going to see some pretty heavy downpours around the area. It's not going to be raining all day, but it will be more busier on the radar. We're going to see quite a bit more there, I think, Saturday and Sunday. So the KSAT 12-hour forecast, 9 a.m., 79 degrees. By noontime, 87, 89 by 1 p.m. today. We're up to 94 for a high with a 20% chance of rain. Southeasterly winds anywhere from 5 to 10. We bring those rain chances up Saturday, Sunday. So 60% both days, 40% chance on Labor Day. If you have weekend plans, just know that. Don't cancel them, but know that there will be some downpours around. There could be some lightning and thunder mixed in there too. And that goes for the coast as well. If you're heading down to Port A, let's say, temperatures in the upper 80s, pretty good chance of rain. There's going to be a lot of cloud cover too. And that goes right into Monday with water temperatures anywhere from 86 to 89. Your extended forecast, 94 tomorrow, 88 though Saturday, 86 on Sunday. So those good rain chances, the cloud cover drags the temperatures down. 88 Monday, then we're back into the 90s next week. Incredible. It's like Mother Nature just flipped a switch, and we've got rain chances still every day in our 7-day forecast, and just be alert over the weekend.
Not bad, not bad. I like the 80s, though.
Me too.
Thank you, Justin.
619, 76 degrees.
And still ahead on GMSA, have you ever wanted to get paid to watch scary movies? Well, here's your chance. We're going to tell you how to sign up right after the break.
This is the moment for a treatment for moderate to severe eczema. Sabinco, FDA approved. 100% steroid free, not an injection. Sabinco is a once daily pill for adults who didn't respond to previous treatments. And Sabinco helps provide clearer skin and less itch. Sabinco can lower your ability to fight infections, including TB. Before and during treatment, your doctor should check for infections and do blood tests. Tell your doctor if you've had hepatitis B or C, have flu-like symptoms, or are prone to infections. Do not take with medicines that prevent blood clots, serious, sometimes fatal infections, lymphoma, lung, skin, and other cancers. Serious heart-related events and blood clots can happen. People 50 and older with heart disease risk factors have an increased risk of serious heart-related events or death with JAK inhibitors. This is the moment, but we've only just begun. Speak with your doctor about Sabinco today, an innovation from Pfizer.
In this morning's GMA First Look, as kids are heading back to school, temperatures are still sweltering across parts of the country, and only 40% of American schools have air conditioning.
Most schools that we have today are on average about 40 years old. So if you went back 40 years across most of the country, nobody would be putting air conditioning in. The only time it was hot was July. And we'd say, well, students aren't in school in July. Why are we going to spend millions of dollars to put air conditioning in? All of a sudden, where it used to be maybe 5 days a year were hot, now we're talking about 30 or 40.
And coming up at 7 a.m., how the heat can affect your child's ability to learn, who it's impacting the most, and what's being done to update those schools to keep kids cool. With your GMA First Look, I'm Ginger Z with ABC News.
And Apple is out with an update of iOS 12 to deal with a security flaw. If you're hanging on to iPhone models 5S, 6, or 6 Plus, you'll need to download a security patch. Just to go to Settings, click on General, then select Software Update.
Horror movie fans, listen up. Dish Network having its third Stephen King movie marathon this fall. They're looking for one horror movie fanatic to watch 13 movies based on King's books. And get this, the winner will get $1,300 cash. The selected candidate will be expected to track their experience, which includes wearing a Fitbit to follow their heart rate throughout the films. We have all the details on how to apply on KSAT.com.
Steven's over there saying yes until the Fitbit. Yeah. You'll do all of that?
I'm not scared.
All right.
Let's go.
Okay.
$1,300.
Not bad. Time now, 6:25 and 76 degrees for now.
It's not a new problem. The great teacher shortage continues across the U.S., but have we reached a breaking point? We'll hear from some teachers about why they're leaving the profession.
Plus, more fallout from Uvalde. Parents continue to call for gun reform, but Governor Greg Abbott pushing back what he's saying about raising the minimum age to buy assault rifles.
Check on Transguide right now. Much heavier traffic there at I-10 and Foster Road. There's 410 at Fredericksburg. San Antonio is off and running on a Thursday morning. We'll check back in with Steven coming up right here on GMSA, and another look at that long Labor Day weekend forecast with meteorologist Justin Horn.
As of now, I'm instructing our employees, we're not going to hide our desk to be executed. So we're going to bail out the windows.
Safety in school is still a topic on many parents' minds. Coming, we'll look at how one local school district is planning to address it.
So you folks, whatever that airdrop thing is, quit sending naked pictures. Let's get yourself to Cabo.
A Southwest Airlines flight nearly grounded, all because of a nude photo and video of the pilot's warning to the passengers has since gone viral. We're going to take a look.
Outside with live cam, one day closer to the long Labor Day weekend and the unofficial end of summer. A Thursday forecast is coming up. Well, we have closed the book on August. Good morning to you. It is Thursday, September 1st.
Happy September. Thanks for joining us. I guess it's not officially fall, but it feels like it already, just being September.
Every little bit has helped throughout the month of August, and we're hoping this trend continues in September.
And it will. I mean, the first of the month, the way the weekend is looking, we've got some pretty good rain chances headed our way, some more downpours. We saw some yesterday. We saw this great picture on a KSAT Connect. This was out of Spring Branch. Amazing clouds near Bulverde. You see some of the rain coming down. Some of us got more rain yesterday. It was isolated. I think today we see probably a little bit less on the radar, but it will still be there. It's this weekend, though, where rain chances start to pop up a little bit more. Weather headlines. Yeah, just isolated stuff today. It's probably a 20% chance for most of us. Isolated activity, but a wet week and potentially scattered showers and storms. It won't be raining all weekend, but we've got a pretty good opportunity to see some rain and maybe some heavy rain in spots. We'll watch for a little bit of flooding. I don't think it's going to be a major issue, but there will be some spots, especially those who have already seen some heavy rain over the past couple of days. We'll have to watch those areas very, very closely. Right now, 77 degrees outside. Cloudy skies, dew point is at 71. Calm winds. Already have a feels like number, and the heat index will be up above probably 96 this afternoon. Live radar shows we have a few very light showers in the hill country. No big deal. And no rain here around San Antonio. This is all just ground clutter here. And we expect that it will be a dry commute this morning. By noontime, we're already up to 87, 10% chance of rain in the afternoon. There's that 20% chance we were talking about. High temperatures right around 94. What does the weekend look like? How long do those good rain chances last? We look at all of that for you. Plus, climatology of September. It is September. It's here. We look at that for you as well coming up in just a bit. Stephen has the latest on your traffic this morning, and have any new issues popped up?
It's just like you said, Justin, dry commute so far. We're not seeing any wet roads out there, so that's some good news. 281 at Evans, if you have to head out and get the day started, just be on the lookout because traffic is already picking up there at 281 at Sunterra. You can see also at I-10, we have a lot more folks than what we did about an hour ago, but that's always expected. This is probably one of the busier times as more people are getting the day started. Thankfully, though, as we take you right to the map, it's still the same situation that we've been showing you the last few traffic hits. Quiet roadways, lots of green on the screen, and as you know, some active construction spots. And we've been talking about that throughout the morning. But as we take you here, nothing else to show you, just some quiet roadways. Not even really seeing a buildup at this point. But let's see how the roads look in about 10 minutes or so as we take it back here to TransGuide. Still pretty quiet over there at Loop 410 over on the south side of San Antonio. 410 at Somerset. Traffic is getting moving there. Now, like I said, we'll see how things shape up in the next 10 or 15 minutes. Mark, Steph.
Thank you, Stephen. New this morning, a building in downtown completely consumed by flames.
San Antonio Fire Department responding to that building located right next to I-35 near the McCullough and Brooklyn Avenue exit.
Our Jonathan Cotto joins us live from downtown. And Jonathan, what's the scene looking like right now?
Good morning, Stephanie. Well, the scene here is cleared now, but we know it was a very busy morning for San Antonio Fire Department. We can take a look at what that scene looked like earlier this morning. This video capturing the moment fire crews attempting to gain entry to this abandoned building. Crews were called out close to 3:30 a.m. to the 100 block of Quincy and Main Street. This is right next to the I-35 across the street from the Baptist Health System 1 Lexington Medical Building parking garage. Now, tremendous amounts of smoke coming out from the building windows and from the back end of the structure. Investigators say the abandoned commercial building is about 1,000 square feet. Heavy fire in the inside, but it was contained to the back end. Now, some of the challenges crews were met with was getting inside as the windows and the doorways were boarded up and have heavy metal bars, but they were able to carefully and quickly break through and put out the flames. And listen to this, investigators say this is not the first time they respond to a fire at this location. They say this is about the third time. Now, Mark, Stephanie, of course, the cause of the fire is under investigation, but the good news this morning is that no injuries were reported. Reporting live from downtown, Jonathan Cotto, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Jonathan. Tuesday marks the first day of school for Uvalde CISD, and we want to hear your messages of hope for the community. Right now on KSAT.com, you can share your thoughts for the new school year. And be sure to tune in on Tuesday morning. We're going to have live team coverage live from Uvalde all morning on GMSA. And we may share your responses during our newscast. So look for the story on our homepage. The topic of guns and schools recently intensified after the shooting in Uvalde. Parents even called for gun reform. Yesterday, Governor Greg Abbott pushed back. He says raising the minimum age to buy AR-15 style weapons would be, quote, unconstitutional, unquote. Now, one law scholar disagrees with Abbott and says the issue is not yet settled. To read the complete article, you can head over to KSAT.com.
The Robb Elementary shooting has inspired schools across the state to make serious security changes. Just over 20 miles east of Uvalde is Sabinal, and it's no different there. On Sabinal ISD campuses, there are intruder alarms alongside fire alarms. Superintendent Richard Grill walked us through the school, pointing out the improvement to class doors, tempered glass, and numbers on windows to mark classrooms for law enforcement on the outside. New this year, the district offering their staff free license to carry firearms classes. Now, they can't have weapons in school like a Guardian program, but they can have them in their vehicles if something were to happen.
I would like to think that I will and others will, just as an instinct to protect the kids and their colleagues.
The district has implemented the Raptor alert system this year. They'll also have law enforcement present on Sabinal ISD campuses and undercover armed security that will help patrol the schools.
And now to the national teacher shortage, an issue impacting so many.
It's not a new problem. Teachers say they've been operating under strenuous working conditions for years, but with the pandemic, some have finally hit their breaking point.
ABC's Justin Finch is keeping an eye on the latest.
I wouldn't call it a teacher shortage. I would call it a compensation shortage. I would call it a respect shortage. I would call it a support shortage.
After 10 years and 3 degrees, Caitlin Smith has left the job that she loves, teaching.
It is disheartening to know that teachers are typically the scapegoat for situations involving anything to do with public education.
Since principals typically don't control salaries, Arletha Dockery, a principal in Virginia, offers teachers other means of support, like allowing flexible schedules for things like picking up their children from daycare. And in some cases, Dockery realizes there may be other opportunities for teachers out there.
There are corporations who are looking for teachers. And so it just makes it a lot easier for them to be able to find flexible work that balances their lives.
Some states are taking new steps to fill the vacancies, like Florida, which passed a bill allowing military veterans without a college degree to teach students. That's concerning to many parents and educators alike.
There is a lot of education that goes into understanding how the art and science balance in education. Places that are doing that would want to have a little bit of caution.
Justin Finch, ABC News, Washington.
And some other top stories we're following for you. A bus chartered by the state of Texas to relocate undocumented migrants arrived in Chicago last night. It is the third major city to which Texas has transported migrants. It comes after the state sent more than 8,000 migrants to New York and Washington, D.C. Governor Greg Abbott has said in a statement that plans were underway for busing migrants to additional cities, but did not specify Chicago. The Texas Division of Emergency Management released figures this week showing that as of August 9th, the state has spent more than $12 million on its busing program. The governor's office has solicited private donations to help defray the costs of the buses. However, as of August 17th, had only received about $168,000.
And this morning we could tell you that Chicago's Mayor Lori Lightfoot just announced that she thought that Governor Abbott's plan was quote unquote racist. 6:38 right now. Unprecedented heat helping fuel new wildfires in Southern California.
So far, flames have consumed more than 4,000 acres near San Diego. And so just take a look at this video on your screen. Fire officials have ordered mandatory evacuations and shut down portions of Interstate 5. At this time, we know at least 2 people were treated for minor burns and 4 buildings have been destroyed.
Extreme heat in the area not making it any easier to contain the flames. With temperatures over 100 degrees in many nearby cities, the manager of California's power grid has issued a statewide alert for today.
And time now, 6:38 and 76 degrees for now.
They're the heroes of our highways, out here to keep drivers safe. Good morning, I'm Katrina Weber. I'll tell you how you can help to ensure their safety coming up.
6:42 in just a few short years, some TxDOT contractors have become heroes of our highways.
They are the people in those trucks you often see at the scene of road troubles, part of the Highway Emergency Response Operator or HERO program.
Katrina Weber joined us live. Katrina, we understand sometimes they need help staying out of danger themselves.
Well, that's right. They actually need help with that anytime they're out here on the roads, helping drivers who are in trouble. Now, the danger, they say, comes from other drivers who get too close to them. And recently, right on Loop 410, we saw how that can have serious consequences. One phone call brings on a whole lot of help for drivers in need.
They'll block off a lane of traffic, put out cones, they have arrow boards, they have lights on the trucks.
With all of that, these highway heroes try to call attention to road hazards, such as a broken down car or crash, to warn other drivers to beware. HERO stands for Highway Emergency Response Operator, a program TxDOT rolled out locally 2 years ago. But for these contractors who put themselves in danger to help others, it can be a rough road.
People not paying attention, thinking they can just zoom by.
John Giannotti is operations manager of TxDOT's TransGuide Center, the eyes in the sky over our roads. Through cameras there, he says the staff tries to watch the heroes' backs and often gets a scary eyeful.
We do have a lot of close calls. We have trucks hit.
It was more than just a close call here at Loop 410 in Marbach a few weeks ago when fears became reality. HERO operator Chris Rose was hit by a car as he blocked off another crash.
He's recovering from his injuries in the hospital. He's doing okay. We've had other minor injuries before, but this is the worst one we've ever had.
San Antonio police ruled out alcohol in the August 21st crash, although they're still not sure what went wrong with that driver. TxDOT wants others to do what's right.
Stay off the phone. Don't be distracted by anything else in your car. Just concentrate on driving.
State law also requires drivers to steer away from trouble by moving over a lane or slowing down. The idea is to keep heroes like these from harm. Katrina.
And time now. Now 6:44. Let's go ahead and go to Stephen Cavazos.
You know, and one of those things about Katrina's story, she was at the TransGuide offices. They have over 200 of these TransGuide cameras, so they're able to keep a close eye on the roadways, but those cameras don't capture everything. So the advice she gave, just make sure to move over or slow down and avoid any of those distractions, as John also mentioned in that story as well. Let's give you a look at what those cameras are showing at this point, because I-10 is great view right there. Justin and I were just talking about that, but traffic is moving, and thankfully nothing to talk about right now. But it is a busier time than what we saw a little bit earlier. So as I mentioned, this is when we start to see the slowdowns, and it's reflected right there on the map. And, you know, here it is. It's the usual spots. US 90 traveling into the far west from the far west side of Bexar County, pardon me, as well as 410 over near the east side of San Antonio. And already for our friends up in Bulverde, you could see that there's a little bit of a building already out there because of the construction that continues to take place. But thankfully, nothing else has been plaguing the roadways. It's been pretty quiet throughout the morning as we take it back here to 410 at Somerset, 281 at St. Mary's. Just remember to drive safe. Watch out for those hero trucks if you see them as well. And of course, we'll be watching the roads as well. Guys.
Thanks, Stephen.
We love that it's September.
Yes.
As I said earlier, it's time to crank up the earth, wind, and fire. Feel me on that one? Yes. Yes, September. It's here. 94, the average for September 1st, the average high. The average low is 73. And by the time we get to the end of the month, these are some great numbers. 87 is the average high. The average low is 66. So the numbers fall. We start getting some fronts in September, and fall officially begins September 22nd. There aren't any big fronts in our future, at least not in the immediate future, but we do have rain. And by the weekend, rain chances really start to kick up. The radar right now is really pretty quiet. We've got some light showers junction down to Fredericksburg and Kerrville, Lakey to Concan, but this is all really, really light stuff. Nothing here around San Antonio. In the KSAT 12-hour forecast today, 9 a.m. we're at 79. By noontime, we're up to 87. A very small chance of rain. This afternoon, we'll put in a 20% chance for some hit or miss isolated showers or storms. 94 the high temperature. This is probably the hottest day of our 7-day forecast, though. After this, the numbers start to come down some. Here's the forecast as far as rain is concerned. Again, just 20% chance of rain today. As we get into tomorrow, pretty similar. Isolated stuff. I don't expect a lot of coverage. But as Saturday comes along, we'll start to see some activity coming from the north, energy coming in from the north, and then we get more widespread rains on Saturday. We bump up rain chances to 60%. And there could be some pockets of heavy rain mixed in there. And for areas that have already seen quite a bit of rain, we'll have to worry about some minor flooding. It's something we'll keep a close eye on this weekend. But really, it could just be good rain for us. 60% chance Saturday and Sunday. Monday, a 40% chance. And what I'll tell you, if you do have weekend plans for the long weekend, don't cancel them, but be aware that there will be some rain around. There could be some lightning and thunder as well, and pockets of heavy rain mixed in there all the way through Monday. And that goes for the coast, as I said earlier. If you're heading down to the beach, rain chances are high down there too. Right now, we've got 77 degrees at the airport, starting to see a little bit of light there on the horizon. Cloudy skies, dew point is at 71, and calm winds. The big picture here, high pressure to our east. We've got the area of low pressure that's moving away, but still producing some pretty heavy rain across far west Texas. Still seeing showers this morning, and there's still a flood watch there for some heavy rain this afternoon. Meantime, the heat highs pushed out over parts of Nevada and California, and that's where there are going to be some record highs today. 108 in Vegas, 105 Phoenix, 111 Death Valley. So that's where all the heat is, not over Texas at this point. And as we mentioned, the forecast is a pretty good one as we head into the weekend. What about the tropics? Very quickly, we do have a couple of areas out there. By the way, this is the first time we went through August since 1997 without a named storm. Surprisingly, still quiet through much of August. Starting to see things pick up a little bit more, though. Tropical depression number 5 has formed. This is going to be a non-factor, though, in the forecast as it moves out over open waters. Another area here likely going to get a name, I would say, but the computer models take this out over the open Atlantic as well, so this does not look like it'll affect land. There's certainly nothing out there at this point that looks like it will have an impact on Texas. Extended forecast, 94 tomorrow, 20% chance of rain, but 60% chance Saturday and Sunday. That drags temperatures down, upper 80s both days, 88 on Labor Day with 40% chance of rain. And then next week, 30 to 40% chance Tuesday and Wednesday. But have the umbrella this weekend. Be prepared for some rain around the area, guys.
We will be prepared. Thank you. And a nude photo is being blamed for nearly delaying a Southwest Airlines flight last week. A passenger on the August 24th flight said someone was using Apple's AirDrop service to send the image of a naked man to other passengers. Now, the flight attendant and the pilot were notified. And as you are about to hear on the video, the pilot was not amused.
So here's the deal. This continues while we're on the ground. I'm going to have to pull back to the gate. Everybody's going to have to get off. We're going to have to get security involved, and it's vacation that's going to be ruined. So you folks, whatever that airdrop thing is, quit sending naked pictures. Let's get yourself to Cabo.
Wow.
In a statement, Southwest says that their employees were made aware of the problem and addressed it to, quote, support the comfort of those traveling with us. Now, the video you just saw, the pilot's warning, got more than 2.7 million views on TikTok.
I heard about this a day or two ago, but I had not yet heard the audio of the pilot talking to the entire plane.
Yeah, well, I'm glad they spelled it out as well right there so everyone to see.
650, 76 degrees.
And do you find it harder to make new friends as you get older? Well, coming up tomorrow on GMSA, what you can do to create lasting friendships as an adult.
As always, we appreciate you starting your day with us here on GMSA. Sun is starting to come up over San Antonio. We'll wrap up GMSA after this break.